Today, I want to talk about something that goes beyond the numbers in your bank account. I want to talk about the difference between a rich mindset and a poor mindset. A difference that isn't just about money, but about how you think, how you act, and how you shape your future. Let's start with a fundamental truth. The world we live in is ruthless. Every day, you face challenges that will try to beat you down, obstacles that will test your resolve, and voices, both internal and external, that will whisper excuses into your ear. But what separates those who rise above from those who remain stuck is the mindset they choose to embrace. You see, most people spend their lives chasing security, a steady paycheck, a predictable routine, the comfort of familiarity. They're taught to go to school, get a job, and work hard so that they can save money and live a life of stability. And while stability has its place, it also comes with a cost. It traps you in a cycle of mediocrity. I want you to understand that deep within every one of us, there are different versions of ourselves. There's the inner poor person, which craves security and the predictable. There's also an inner middle-class person who values comfort, routine, and a steady income. And then there's the inner rich person, a version of you that isn't afraid to take risks, that seeks growth, and that believes in the power of possibility. And the truth is, if you're always chasing that paycheck, if you're always settling for the safe route, you'll never tap into the potential of your inner rich self. And that, my friends, is the trap that society sets for us. You're not taught how to get rich. You're taught how to be an employee. Not toikiyu. I remember reading A Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and one of the most striking lessons was that the rich never truly pay you a paycheck. Instead, they create systems, they build assets, and they leverage opportunities. Your rich dad never paid you. He taught you to work for freedom, not for money. That's the mindset you need if you want to break free from the chains of mediocrity. But let's go deeper than money. Let's talk about the mindset that defines every success story. It's the mindset of taking full responsibility for your life. Far too many people allow external circumstances, be it a job, a relationship, or even a failing economy, to dictate their destiny. They make excuses. They say, well, I can't do this because, and before you know it, they're trapped in a cycle of inaction. I've learned that the only way to break free is to change your internal economy, the way you think about yourself and your potential. That begins with discipline. It begins with an unwavering commitment to invest in yourself every single day. Whether it's learning new skills, refining your craft, or simply setting aside time for self-reflection, you have to cultivate your inner strength. Because when you have a rich mindset, every setback becomes a lesson, every failure a stepping stone, and every obstacle an opportunity to rise even higher. Think about this. Every moment you spend complaining about the status quo, every moment you let fear or self-doubt creep in, is a moment wasted out of the Instead, choose action. Every day when you wake up, remind yourself that your future is in your hands. Don't wait for the perfect moment. It will never come. The perfect moment is now. Let's consider the role of education in all this. Our schools are designed to produce employees, not entrepreneurs. We're taught to follow a set path. Study, get a job, earn a living. But if you want to build wealth, if you want to create something extraordinary, you need to learn differently. You need to learn differently. You need to learn how to think like an entrepreneur. That means understanding the power of leverage, using debt, understanding taxes, and investing in assets that grow over time. These aren't subjects you learn in school. They're lessons you learn in the real world through trial, error, and persistence. I once asked my father, who was an educator, why we weren't taught about money. His answer was simple. Your job is to get a job. But I knew then that there was so much more to life than just a paycheck. I sought out real teachers, people who lived and breathed the art of entrepreneurship. And one of the best lessons I learned was this: don't be afraid to work for free if it means learning how to create value. When you're not tied to the expectation of a paycheck, you can focus on building something truly meaningful. Now, let's talk about fear. Fear is the enemy of progress. It tells you that you're not good enough, that success is out of reach. It convinces you to settle for less. But here's the hard truth. If you let fear control you, you'll never know what you're truly capable of. You have to push through the fear. Even when it feels like the weight of the world is on your shoulders, that's the kind of mindset that separates the rich from the poor. The rich don't let fear hold them back. They use it as fuel to drive forward. I want you to picture this. You're alone with your thoughts. No phones, no computers, just you and the vast potential of your mind. In those moments, your brain is the only thing that's left to guide you. And if you can't control your thoughts, if you let fear, self-doubt, and negativity take over, you're doomed. But if you command your mind, if you set clear goals and stick to them, then nothing can stand in your way. I challenge you every day when you wake up to ask yourself 4 simple questions. First, why am I working so hard? Why do I endure the pain and the struggle? Because deep down, you know there's something bigger waiting for you. Second, why not? Ask yourself, why not push harder? Why not aim higher? Third, why not you? Recognize that you have the potential to be extraordinary. And finally, why not now? There's no better time than this moment to take control of your destiny. Let these questions be the mantra that guides you each day. Write them down, internalize them, and let them fuel your actions. When you stop making excuses and start owning your dreams, you'll begin to see the difference in every aspect of your life. Now I want to shift gears and talk about the reality of our external world, our financial world. Today's economy is brutal. Money is printed in trillions, yet the gap between the 1% and the 99 is massive. The average person is taught to work for a paycheck, to save money, and to avoid risk at all costs. Yeah, but if you want to break free from that cycle, you need to understand that the real game is not about saving, it's about creating wealth. Consider this. If you write a book, your chances of getting published are slim. And even if you do, most of your labor goes into sales, marketing, and distribution, leaving you with a fraction of the reward. That's why, as an entrepreneur, you must think differently. You have to learn to use debt, to understand taxes, and to invest in assets that grow over time. It's not about working for money, it's about making money work for you. My rich dad once told me, the moment you take a paycheck, you're an employee. And that, my friends, is the trap. The rich don't work for money. They create systems, they build businesses, and they invest in their future. They understand that to truly succeed, you have to take risks, you have to be willing to fail, and most importantly, you have to be willing to learn. Let's face it, the education system is outdated. It's designed to produce workers, not innovators. They teach you to follow the rules, to get a job, and to be content with a steady paycheck. But if you want to break free from that mold, you have to educate yourself about money, the real kind of money, money. Learn how to use debt to your advantage. Understand how taxes work, and most importantly, learn how to invest. Because if you don't, you'll always be at the mercy of those who do. The truth is, if you look at the big picture, there's an internal economy at work, a mindset, a set of beliefs that determine your financial success. And while the external economy is beyond your control, your internal economy is yours to shape. You must cultivate an entrepreneurial mindset, one that sees opportunity in every setback and possibility in every failure. I've seen too many people cling to obsolete ideas, to get a job, work hard, save money, and invest for the long term. But those ideas are outdated in today's world. The truth is, education doesn't teach you how to be rich. It teaches you how to be an employee. And if you remain an employee, you'll always be at the mercy of someone else's system. To truly succeed, you have to break free from that mindset. You must understand that the rich don't work for money. They work to build wealth. They use every tool available to them, from real estate to business investments, and they never let a setback define them. They view every failure as a lesson, every rejection as an opportunity to grow. Now let's talk about the harsh reality of our times. Our national debt is skyrocketing, inflation is crushing savers, and the gap between the wealthy and the rest is widening every day. If you're not careful, you'll get caught in a system designed to keep you poor. The rich use debt and taxes to make themselves richer while leaving the average person with less and less. It's a game that most people don't even know they're playing, and that's why you must educate yourself. I'm not here to sugarcoat things. The world is tough, and the financial landscape is unforgiving. But you have a choice. You can either be a victim, letting every negative statistic, every bad headline drag you down, or you can choose to control your internal economy. You can choose to build an entrepreneurial mindset that empowers you to take risks, to invest in your future, and to transform challenges into opportunities. I want you to see the bigger picture, the internal versus the external. The external economy is beyond your control. It's like the weather, unpredictable and often harsh. But your internal economy, your mindset, your beliefs, your habits, that is something you can shape. And once you do, nothing can stop you from rising above, from achieving greatness, even in the midst of economic turmoil. I challenge you to reframe your mindset. Instead of fearing the downturn, see it as an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to build resilience. Instead of being paralyzed by the thought of failure, embrace it. Every failure is simply a stepping stone to success. And remember, the rich don't fear failure. They use it as a catalyst for growth. Now, let's talk about purpose. The most important purpose in life is to better yourself. That's the only purpose you truly need. When you wake up every morning, ask yourself, am I doing this for myself? If the answer is no, then you're not really living. You're just going through the motions, trapped by the expectations of others. I came from humble beginnings. I wasn't born into wealth, and I wasn't taught the secrets of money in school. Instead, I learned from real teachers, people who lived through the struggles, who understood the value of hard work, and who taught me that the rich don't work for money. They create wealth. They build businesses. They build businesses. They invest in themselves. And that's what you must do if you want to break free from the limitations of a poor mindset. Let me share a personal story. When I was a kid, I was curious about money, about how it worked and how people could create wealth. I went to my best friend's father, who was an entrepreneur, and asked him to teach me about money. He didn't pay me a dime because he believed that the moment you receive a paycheck, you start thinking like an employee. Instead, he taught me through hands-on experiences, through playing games like Monopoly, and through real-life lessons on debt, taxes, and investment. That early lesson changed everything for me. It taught me that to be truly successful, you must think differently about money, and more importantly, about yourself. Now, I want to address something that many of you may not want to hear. Most people are conditioned to avoid risk. They're taught to seek security, to be content with a steady paycheck, to avoid failure at all costs. But here's the stark reality. Security is a trap. It's comfortable, yes, but it also confines you. The rich, the truly successful, aren't looking for security. They're looking for freedom. They're willing to risk, to fail, to get up every time they fall, because they know that every setback is simply a part of the journey to greatness. This mindset, the rich mindset, is about having control. It's about understanding that the real battle is inside. But I also know that once you confront those feelings, once you dive deep into your inner self and emerge on the other side, you become unstoppable. You learn that success isn't handed to you on a silver platter. It's earned through sweat, perseverance, and an unwavering commitment to better you.